good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome once more to another video podcast of Porn News Today Live, here exclusively through the PNT Live Network. I'm your hostess, Alexandra Mayers. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I have the most distinct feeling that there is an adult parody in the works of the recent release of Terminator Dark Fate. Why, Alexandra, do you think this? I'm sure many of you out there are saying to yourselves, well, the reason that I think this is because out of the blue, a little known independent podcaster who is obviously a die-hard Terminator franchise super fan interviewed disgruntled adult actress Melissa Hill.
The music was composed especially for that movie, of course, to sound like,
yep.
But there was enough of a difference so that we didn't get sued.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I was like, like, this is really close to the movie. I'm like, I wonder if Cameron called and said, like, hey, good job.
Now, for those of you who are not aware, back in 1995, Melissa Hill starred in an adult parody of the hit movie Terminator 2: Judgment Day. It was titled Penetrator 2: Grudge Day, directed by her ex-boyfriend, Nic Cramer. It's been 25 years since that movie has been released, which is a bit of a notable amount of years for individuals who have directed movies. A lot of times, directors want to re-release or create sequels to movies after 10 years, 15 years, or 25 years have gone by. Now, what's interesting about Penetrator 2 by Nic Cramer is that one of the stars of the movie, an adult actress known as Kaitlyn Ashley, something interesting happened with her. Allegedly, she died in 2019. Now, this death was reported by a fanboy, an adult industry fanboy known as Roger T. Pipe. But the thing is, Roger T. Pipe, he really doesn't embody a lot of credibility. So the circumstances surrounding Kaitlyn Ashley's death, actually whether or not she's even dead at all, are questionable. But regardless, being that Kaitlyn Ashley did go on to live a very private and secluded life in the country after retiring from adult films, her role would need to be recast. Now, as for the disgruntled adult actress Melissa Hill, who has not only spoken out against the industry, but who has vehemently talked about not receiving residuals or royalties over the years, she would definitely have to be recast. But the question is, who would they choose to play Farrah Connor, the character based on Sarah Connor from Terminator and Terminator 2 and Terminator Dark Fate? If I had to pick somebody, I would say Phyllisha Ann, because they have a similar look, Linda Hamilton and Phyllisha Ann. But if you couldn't get Phyllisha Ann, there's always the good old standby, Alana Evans. You gotta wonder if there was a boost in sales after Kaitlyn Ashley's death was reported when it comes to that movie, Penetrator 2. I'll bet there was. It's very interesting when it comes to adult actresses, because quite often they are worth more dead than alive when it comes to the merchandising of their name on various products such as photographs, t-shirts, puzzles. Also, you have to factor in all of the free publicity directors receive every time an adult actor or actress dies. So Nic Cramer, he probably got a boost in sales, like I said, when it came to Kaitlyn Ashley's alleged passing. He's never had to pay residuals or royalties to any of the other stars of the movie. And if he were to re-release Penetrator 2 and then go on to create a new movie based on the new Terminator, who knows? I guess you could call it what? Penetrator Dark Fate, starring Phyllisha Ann or Alana Evans. Just imagine how much money this man would make. What you got to understand is that oftentimes nowadays, both adult and mainstream directors often hire independent podcaster superfans like Brandon over here, who's obviously a Terminator franchise superfan, to drum up interest in old movies that they either want to re-release or create sequels of. As you'll see at the end of this podcast, Brandon Estrella was incredibly slick as to how he managed to get Melissa Hill to go on and on and on about the movie Penetrator 2.
Anyway, so why'd you bring it up? We went on a tangent.
Yeah, I don't know.
So now let's go ahead and cut to this recent interview with Melissa Hill conducted by Brandon Estrella of the independent podcast Know This. Who is going to play the new Farrah Connor that Melissa Hill goes on and on and on in regards to playing the role of in the following clip? Will it be Phyllisha Ann? Will it be Alana Evans? Will it be somebody else that I can't even think of off the top of my head right now?
We should be paid to do their job now.
Right. I was just gonna say, like, I mean, I'm sure you've probably seen like the best of the best equipment like used, like as far as camera, lighting equipment, sound equipment, digital processing, all types of stuff for sets. And there was I'm trying to think what it's called, but it was a parody of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and it was awesome. But what I thought was like really amazing is like sorry, just kind of getting random thought, but the back then, like, the industry was not really like known for like using, like, pumping in a lot of money into things in production value. But
you're talking about the movie that I did?
Yes.
Look at how excited little Brandon looks as soon as she starts talking about that adult movie. Classic.
Since you're talking about that right now, that's funny. Okay, yeah. We won't say the name of it because, yeah, I played
Farrah Connor.
Farrah Connor. Good. Anyway.
But I just
right, come with me if you want to be penetrated.
I thought like they had the Terminator 2 thing down cold, like everything, like all the little nuances from like the actor that played the T-1000, the stare, the hair, and it was funny too. I thought it was really well done. But
thank you. That was Jonathan Morgan. You know, I remember he worked out the one, the cop one, right? That's right. Yeah, and he worked out. He was so buff, and no one thought that he could do. But yeah, that was a very dear project to me. I think it's funny that you brought that up. And the guy who played the Arnold Schwarzenegger character, he was from Belgium, and yeah, the director Nic Cramer, he put his own money into that movie just because he when we finally shot it, the budget, the company that decided to produce it only gave half the budget that was originally asked for that movie. So there was a lot of summers were cut, but I do remember, you're right. I remember when we made that movie, I thought, damn, we're putting in stunts. We put in a car accident kind of, you know, how we did the morphing. It was so how they did the morphing was they took a piece of plastic, clear, you know, hard plastic, put it up to the monitor and drew the outline of the body part that was being morphed, and then the next person stepped in and they had to step into that same silhouette, so to speak. And
movie magic. No, it's really neat because it was the stuff that you didn't really see, you know, at that time. And
right,
especially Terminator 2 being an iconic film, I'm sure somebody somewhere said, "Oh, we gotta make this. We have to." And you know, it came out, and I remember seeing that movie, and I was like, "Oh, he did like the whole thing from the movie." And then when you did the one pump shotgun with the one hand, oh my God.
That was so difficult. We shot over the entire duration, all the entire days, because that was a multiple day shoot, obviously. Every single day during my downtime, of course, this is back at a time when people were on set together. Now they're not on set together. But during my downtime, I would practice, because I had to do it at the end of the movie, and I would practice a step, step, clunk, step, step, clunk, step, step, clunk. And it was that was what I was most stressed out about for that movie, was that. And then I had to do it naked.
It's hard. Like, it's hard because I tried to mimic that when I saw the movie and I was out at the range, and I was like, wow, that's really more hard. It's harder than it looks.
it was really difficult. Yeah, we had a professional stunt guy, a person who brought the police car and brought the weapons. We had explosions, and we heard, fire in the hole. I mean, all this shit was happening. It was real. That was real stuff. Nowadays
it's all CGI.
Again, right, yeah. But even we had the music. The music was composed especially for that movie, of course, to sound like.
Yep.
But there was enough of a difference so that we didn't get sued.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I was like, like, this is really close to the movie. I'm like, I wonder if Cameron called and said, like, hey, good job.
I don't know if they did. But anyway, so why'd you bring it up? We went on a tangent.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we were just talking about technology. Because we were talking about,
right.
like the lighting and stuff like that was different. And I was saying that you probably know more about lighting and cameras and stuff like that than I do, because your experience working with that type of stuff. And it's